Hello, and welcome to episode 37 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
How's everybody doing out there? I think I heard everybody say great, but I don't know. What did you hear?
I didn't hear anything.
Crickets?
Yeah, that's what happens when you have no live audience.
The air conditioning?
Just the cats roaming around.
The cats. So what is it? It's Monday. It's Memorial Day.
It is.
I don't know if is it right to say Happy Memorial Day? I mean, Memorial Day is supposed to be where you remember the people who lost their lives in war, right?
That's correct.
So I think saying Happy Memorial Day just doesn't sound right to me.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't think Memorial Day is meant
it's
to
not really
be
meant to be a
happy
occasion. But I mean,
you can have a grateful Memorial Day.
I hope everybody's having a grateful Memorial
Day. Or
a
thoughtful Memorial Day.
A thoughtful Memorial Day. I mean, usually people spend Memorial Day, given that it is a long weekend, they usually try and spend it with friends and family.
Yep.
There's usually picnics involved and possibly grilling and that kind of thing. It's usually like the first kind of get-together of the summer season.
It's the kickoff of the summer season. There's no question about that. Yes.
Yeah, and we did get together with my family. We went to my sister's on Saturday for a Memorial Day-ish get-together.
Which was a rockin' good time.
It was a rockin' good time. And my sister made the best vegan burgers. They were lentil walnut
and mushroom
burgers, and they were so good.
They were ridiculous.
We had two.
I know. And
each.
I honestly can't remember the last time I ate two burgers of any kind.
Yeah.
These were just so ridiculously good.
Yeah, they were fabulous. And she shared the recipe with me. And I'll have to check with her to see if I can share the recipe with everybody out there. Because it's definitely something you're going to want to try.
Absolutely. Oh, so good.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yes, they were.
And then she made huge, beautiful green salad. What else did we have? Oh, berries. We had berries with walnuts and vegan chocolate.
You're skipping your quinoa salad.
Well, that's because that's the recipe of the week.
Oh, fair point. So we also had some rice and beans. Mexican
Mexican rice and beans, which were delish.
Yes, they were.
With roasted
Absolutely
corn.
Delicious. Roasted corn, yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, we had lots and lots of good food.
Yes, we did.
And then we had a good time. We played some games with the family afterwards. We did
some Wii bowling.
Yeah, we did some Wii bowling, Switch.
Oh, right. That's right. We've changed platforms.
Nintendo Switch bowling, and we tried this dancing thing. It's kind of like Just Dance or Dance Dance Revolution.
It's more like Just Dance than Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah. That's a different thing entirely.
Called, what was it called?
Baila Latino.
Baila Latino.
Baila Latino.
Oh, Baila Latino.
Yes.
And the funny thing about these dancing games is Sam is a professional dancer.
This is true.
And has all kinds of training and everything.
This is true.
And actually teaches dance.
Mm-hmm.
But she always loses these games because she's actually doing what she's supposed to be doing. I usually follow Sam instead of following the screen because I get very confused by that. You're supposed to be looking in a mirror kind of thing. So I'll stand behind Sam and try and do what she's doing. And then I'll win. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. You want to tell the story about your brother and the Just Dance that we played at his house?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So
this is a good story.
Yeah. Just Dance seems to make it into the game playing rotation, particularly around Christmas time, and especially if we are at my brother's house. And so one Christmas Eve, or I should say Kenny Christmas Eve, we were playing some Just Dance, and my brother, who is not a dancer by any stretch of the imagination, he doesn't mean jump around, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Won the Just Dance tournament of the evening. And so anyway, several months later, he calls me late at night from a bar. He was hanging out with some friends. He said, "Hey, Sam, I need you to answer a question for me." I'm like, okay. He said, "Question number 1, are you or are you not a professional dancer?" I said, yes, I am. He said, okay. Question number 2, did I or did I not beat you at Just Dance? I'm like, who are you with that you're asking me to admit this? He's like, it doesn't matter. I'm not with anybody. Did I beat you at Just Dance? I'm like, I'm not answering that question. Yeah. And so it just,
Yeah, he was like, just answer the question. He wanted to prove to his friends that he beat a professional dancer at Just Dance.
Which is not hard to do, because if you just focus on the gestures of the right hand, then yes, you're going to do quite well.
You can really just stand there and move your hand the way they move their hand, and you will get more points than the person
it's very true.
Doing all the footwork. Like, I find myself stopping. I don't do the footwork anymore because I'm trying to pay attention to what the hands are doing.
Right.
And so, and there's Sam. She's got it down because she can pick up material like
nobody's
quick,
business.
super quick.
Mm-hmm.
After like the first run of the material, she's got it, so she's over there just dancing away.
Right. It's fun.
Perfectly.
No.
Well,
no
not
such
perfect,
thing.
but almost exactly the way the person on the screen is doing it. And then she loses every
It's true.
time.
I do. Fortunately, I don't really care.
No, I mean,
whether I
it's
win or lose.
fun.
I'm just having a good time dancing. So
It's still fun.
That works for me.
Yeah. I mean, does anybody really play those dance games to get points? No, you do it to dance in because it's fun.
Yeah. And it, gets you a little bit of exercise after a big meal. And, and so what? I didn't win Baila Latino. I did win at the Switch Bowling.
You did.
So, I had my moment in the sun.
You had your moment.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so that's what we did for our Memorial Day weekend. So we did get to spend some time with family, which was nice. It's always good to spend time with the family. And I just wanted to thank my sister for that beautiful meal. It was delicious.
Yes, thank you, sister.
Yeah, and it's great. And I'm lucky, and we're lucky that our families make a huge effort to make vegan food when we get together.
Yep.
I mean, even Sam's family does the same thing. Her brother made a vegan lasagna last Christmas.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just so cool.
And Mom wants recipes so she can do some cooking for us while we're in Florida in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and we're lucky, and I'm grateful.
Likewise.
Grateful for our family.
And so there we go. There's our grateful Memorial Day.
There you go. All right. So let's just jump into it. Let's not yammer on anymore.
Right. Since wait a minute. What is the word I'm looking for?
Inadvertently?
Inadvertently. Thank you.
It's like you were going to say it and then it left your brain.
It did. Okay, so I inadvertently revealed the recipe.
It's not like it was a secret or anything.
No.
But let's move on. Let's move on to this week's vegan recipe of the week. This week we made a recipe out of the Mediterranean Vegan Kitchen by Donna Klein, who is author of Vegan Italiano. This is a great book. Now, there's no big color pictures or anything in this book, but what there is in this book is a ton of recipes and really detailed recipes.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, which I like. There's a lot to read. This is the kind of cookbook that you sit down and you read it like a book.
Yeah.
I
love those.
Yeah. And so I knew we were going to my sister's, and I wanted to make something, and I also knew I needed something, a recipe for the week. So I chose this tabbouleh salad with chickpeas. Okay, so first of all,
however,
so this week's recipe is going to kind of be a lesson in what to do when A, you don't always have the ingredient you need, and B, you're making a recipe for people that have some dietary needs.
Different than your own.
Yes, different than your own. So my sister and my nephew's girlfriend are both gluten-free.
Yes.
So you can't make it with millet
or bulgur.
This recipe calls for bulgur. So I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'll make it with quinoa. It'll be really good. So I went to the store and I picked up all the other things I needed.
Almost.
Well, I thought I did. And I'm in the produce aisle and I'm looking at, and I'm like, oh, don't grab that. That's cilantro. Here it is, flat leaf parsley. I pick it up, the sign says flat leaf parsley. I pick up the thing. Dumb me. I don't look at the little band around the thing. I get it home. It's cilantro.
Yep.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, I did still have some parsley, but not really as much as I needed. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I added basil. I bought fresh basil.
Can't go wrong with fresh basil.
Yeah, so I added basil instead. So, you know, you can always get away with
little tweaks here and there.
Yeah, but boy, was I mad.
She was pretty mad. The language coming out of the kitchen was.
No, I was mad at myself for not checking the little band on the thing. Because come on, parsley and cilantro look a lot alike.
Yes, they do.
And
they don't smell alike.
No, and I didn't even smell it or anything. I just put it in my cart.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah, but it's really easy for somebody stocking at a grocery store to mix those two up.
Yeah.
You know? So you should always check if you're buying parsley or cilantro to make sure that you have the correct one. Because I've also done it the opposite way where I wanted cilantro and ended up with parsley.
Yes.
Yeah. I even one time Instacarted cilantro and got parsley.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this week was kind of a lesson in patience and how to make do. And how to adjust a recipe for people that have different dietary needs than you.
Yes.
But the recipe is good.
Yes, the recipe's beautiful.
Yeah. And, okay, it would have been a little different if I had more parsley. But
Sure.
I don't think it would have made that big of a difference.
No, I don't think so. More parsley would have been nice.
More parsley and more mint. I also didn't have enough
Yes.
mint, and the store was out of mint.
The mint. I was
Yeah.
definitely missing the mint component.
There was some. I had some, but not enough. You need a kind of a little more of a punch in the face with the mint in tabbouleh.
Yep.
But it was delicious.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Now, for me, when it comes to a tabbouleh, I definitely prefer the farro or the bulgur to quinoa, just texturally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, it turns it into, it's not really a tabbouleh. A tabbouleh it's a textural thing.
Right.
Right? And with the quinoa, it's a little, I don't know, it has a little less body than
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Like, I actually took the rest of that quinoa salad this morning and combined it with some hummus to make kind of like a salad type filling for a wrap.
Yeah.
And it worked well, but I was missing the textural element of the tabbouleh because I had done the same thing with some tabbouleh and some hummus
with millet
last week
Yeah.
when you made it with millet, and
Yeah.
that was fabulous. Yeah.
It
So-
was. It was kind of like a tuna,
like
or
a tuna salad
chicken
or an egg salad. I mean, not with that flavor profile,
Right,
but it was just
that
this
consistency.
beautifully lemony, dilly, herby fabulousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, so this, I like this recipe, and I'll definitely make this recipe again when I have all the correct ingredients.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so check this cookbook out. We'll definitely have an affiliate link so you can get a copy if you want one. There's more than 300 recipes, and the name of the book, again, is The Mediterranean Vegan Kitchen by Donna Klein. She's also author of Vegan Italiano. It's meat-free, egg-free, dairy-free dishes from the healthiest region under the sun.
Awesome.
A little bit about Donna Klein. She's a food writer who's contributed to the Washington Post, Vegetarian Gourmet, Veggie Life, The Herb Companion, Body and Soul, and Yoga Journal, and studied French regional cooking at Le Cordon Bleu in Paris.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Very cool. Yeah, those are some credentials, man.
Yeah. So that's this week's recipe of the week. I hope you guys try it. Let me know what you think. If you have a tabbouleh recipe of your own that you use, let me know what it is if you're willing to reveal your secrets. Or if you like, let me know if people out there like tabbouleh. I love tabbouleh, and I've just been on this kick. We haven't had tabbouleh in like forever.
No, and you've made it 3 times in the last 3 weeks.
And it's just because the warmer weather, it's a good thing for warmer weather.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great warm weather food.
Yeah, so let me know if people out there, if you've tried tabbouleh, if you like tabbouleh, if you have a tabbouleh recipe that you lean on, let me know. Send me a DM or send me an email or something and let me know.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next segment.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this week is, we're talking about some of the vegan news.
Okay, so our first story that we want to talk about, and I'm sure you out there have heard about this. Oh, maybe you haven't. You probably have. It's kind of been all over. Is Beyond Meat has hired a new person to be their taste consultant, I think is the title of the job they gave this person.
Yes.
And that person is, I can't hardly even say it with a straight face. It's Kim Kardashian. It's just like this sigh. I can even hear people out there sighing and rolling their eyes. I don't know. Maybe you like Kim Kardashian. I am not a fan of this whole Kardashian thing because I just don't understand why they are so popular. Because it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems perverse to me. The whole Kardashian thing.
I agree. It's just the glorification of extreme wealth and a lot of unnecessary consumption and greed, and it doesn't seem like there's a reason for it outside of people think they're pretty and wish they had that kind of money. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't get it. I've never understood the Kardashian craze.
Yeah. So anyway, there's been kind of a bit of a hoopla on social media.
Nothing like a good hoopla.
Yeah, because they released this ad featuring Kim Kardashian, chief taste consultant. And in the ad, she never eats the food.
No.
You'll see shots of her chewing.
Yes.
At one point, she's chewing and holding what looks to be half of a burger that's never been bit into.
Right.
Then she's holding
a fork with a meatball that she never puts into her mouth.
Bites, but she's chewing.
No, she's actually not chewing in that shot. But you
not...
see her pick up the meat-free meatball on her fork. She never puts it into her mouth,
and then talks about how great it tastes.
And then there are a couple of other shots with like their chicken nuggets and their sausage, which is our favorite Beyond product.
Oh,
the Italian sausage.
Italian sausage, yeah.
And you see things on forks or in her hand, and she's chewing, but she never actually bites into anything.
Yeah.
And so my first question is, well, how can you be a chief taste consultant if you're not actually consuming these things, if you don't know what they taste like?
Right.
Now, Christine thinks that Ms. Kardashian's publicist said, it's not a good look for you to actually eat on TV.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt if Kim Kardashian said, no, you're not going to get shots of me biting into something and chewing with food in my mouth. You're not, because it's just not becoming.
Right.
Like there's not like a Instagram filter that makes me look good doing that. So we're not going to do that.
Right. And so, but there again, so you're getting a faux advertisement. Like you're not getting anything real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. It's the
Kim
Kardashians.
Right. There's nothing real.
Yeah. And okay. So we question their choice of spokesperson.
Certainly.
But I mean, in a way, I can see why they would choose someone like Kim Kardashian.
Well, they're certainly not targeting their base audience.
I think they're trying to
expand their audience.
Yeah, leave their base audience behind. They're figuring we got those people already. We've got the the tried and true vegans. Yeah. We have them already. The ones that are going to eat our product that are vegans, they're going to eat our product. They're going to buy our product. There's no point in directing our advertising
to them.
Right. So, wow, they really kind of went left of center there with Kim Kardashian.
I don't know if I'd call it left of center.
Maybe
I'd call it right of center.
Yeah, but I don't know what I would call it. But yeah, there's a big uproar on their Instagram. There was all kinds of an uproar about it. And it said this little news blurb in the Vegan Review lists some of the things that people said on Beyond Meat's Instagram page. This person said, well, this makes one less customer. This person said, why her? Ugh. Come on, Beyond. So many better to choose from. And then another person said, and now I literally don't want to buy this product anymore.
And that's exactly where I fell on the spectrum, too. The only thing that this ad accomplished for me was a generous eye roll, number one, a big, heavy sigh, and a desire not to buy Beyond products anymore.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I don't like most of Beyond's products besides the Italian sausage.
No, the Italian sausage is really the only one that we purchase.
And it's not like it's a staple in our home or anything like that. We buy it. We have it as a treat every now and again because it's, it's junk food.
Totally.
But other people are saying on the flip side that the possibilities that come with such a massive name on the social media scene, if Kim Kardashian says something is good, then millions of people will follow. And that is true.
I can't deny that. I can't. So, even though I certainly question their choice, and I agree with whoever put on Beyond's social media, so many better
people,
celebrities to choose from. I completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do understand that this may be a very simple way to gain consumers among the non-vegan crowd.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But I mean, this article goes on to say you have to admit they have a point saying all that. Is this a great way? Is just a great way to bring veganism into the main stage? I don't see Beyond Meat really as veganism.
No, I don't.
I mean,
either.
A lot of vegans were kind of excited when their products hit the market,
right?
Just because it's nice to have options, especially when you have omnivores in your family and things like that.
Works great for my family.
Yeah. I mean, we'll make like sausage and peppers with the Beyond sausage,
Absolutely.
and everybody loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I think it's a good product. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great. Anybody's buying their product instead of buying an animal product.
I agree completely.
I mean that's the point.
It's the whole point. Yes.
So I don't know. This could just be a really great move. I mean, everybody's talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And they could have gotten somebody less controversial. They could have got, Ricky Gervais to eat a sausage or something, and he would have actually eaten the sausage.
He's had his share of controversy.
And then probably made some crass remark about it.
Exactly.
But they're definitely reaching for a different market share here.
Yeah.
And come on.
A more mainstream market
Kim
share.
Kardashian has a huge reach.
Yes.
Right?
I don't understand why, but yes.
I don't understand it either, but... So, I mean, my thoughts on the matter my initial thoughts were, oh God, really? But after, mulling it over a little bit, I think, for Beyond, this is, for them, I think it's a great thing.
I think we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Do they gain enough customers from the current non-vegan market, the current omnivore market, to offset the vegans who are kind of appalled by their choice of spokesperson and maybe step away and start.
I think they might. Well,
I hope they do. I really hope they do. It's just really not the way I would have gone.
No, it's not the way I would have gone either. But she has such a huge following, and nothing against people who are into following the lives of the Kardashians. But I think that those people probably weren't buying vegan products.
Oh no, I doubt it.
So if it changes one mind, if it makes somebody at the grocery store, instead of buying an animal sausage, buy a Beyond sausage, then yay. Good for Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
So that's my final thought on it.
All right then.
And what's your final thought on it?
I'm still not crazy about it.
Okay.
And that's just a personal taste thing. I prefer when advertising has some semblance of integrity to it, and I don't feel like this does.
It does kind of smack as
disingenuous, a little bit to me. And so
is she even eating the products at all?
Right. And the thing is, from what I understand, Kim Kardashian is an on-again, off-again plant-based eater, that she eats predominantly plant-based, but does make room for animal products every now and again.
Yeah, she's plant-based-ish.
Yes. Plant-based-ish. I like that. So, okay. Plant-based-ish is better than full on omnivore at all times. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It just it doesn't feel genuine to me. It feels to me like a company that wants to expand their customer base is using a big celebrity name to do it.
Yeah, right. It's advertising.
And that's all it is.
There's no integrity in advertising.
No. Well, that's not always true.
Well, I mean,
it's frequently
in
true.
a lot of
that's
advertising.
not always true.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's just put that to rest. It is what it is, but I'm curious to hear what other people think about it.
Yeah.
Let me know your thoughts on this subject out there. I really want to know.
And I am curious to see what happens with us. You know, to see what the response is.
Yeah, I mean,
that to me is intriguing.
Beyond is just left and right, I think, trying to tick us vegans off a little bit because, all right, they partnered with PepsiCo to make the jerky.
Ew.
Right? I mean, it's a business. They're doing all the things a business does to get bigger.
Yes, but the question is, are those ethical choices?
Oh, yeah, probably not.
Right. So does a business making unethical business decisions while marketing a product that on the surface may seem more ethical than others, how is that not hypocrisy?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sticky.
Yeah.
It's sticky.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, let's move on to the next piece of bad news.
Oh, what's the next bad news?
This comes from the totallyveganbuzz.com. This new expose uncovered immense suffering at an Aldi chicken supplier, and not just an Aldi chicken supplier, but that is the headline. And this comes from Mercy for Animals. They've urged Aldi and other retailers to do more to protect chickens' welfare. And there was a new report that exposed how large retailers like Aldi have failed to meaningfully reduce chicken suffering. Nonprofit Mercy for Animals' first U.S. retailer report reveals the names of major retailers that are yet to meaningfully address welfare issues associated with chickens raised for meat. Aldi's ranks the lowest tier of standard practices in the chicken industry.
Yes. And before we go any further with this, we do want to make sure that everyone is aware that the retailers themselves are not raising chickens. They are buying their chickens from...
These are suppliers.
Yeah. And, we all know that the chicken industry is incredibly evil. And
it's...
to begin with. But in addition to Aldi, the other names on Mercy for Animals retailer report included BJ's Wholesale Club, Hy-Vee, Publix, Raley's, Stater Brothers Markets, Target, Trader Joe's, Walmart, and Wegmans.
So that's basically everywhere you shop.
We don't
shop for chicken, but everywhere people shop for chicken, chickens are being treated poorly. And I think... even though that this is coming out like it's like some big surprise that all these supermarkets are in business with suppliers that are poorly treating the animals.
Yeah.
The chicken industry is the worst. They're so bad.
You put the chicken industry even above dairy?
It's pretty bad.
I'd say they've got a...
I think the cruelty level,
heat between the two.
Yeah, the cruelty level in industrial chicken farming. I think it's easier for the people that work at those farms to look at those poor chickens as things.
Yeah. Okay. I can go for that.
Because they're smaller. They're smaller.
One. There's so many of them.
Thousands upon thousands in these chicken. They call them sheds, but they're
20
like
million chickens a week.
Barns.
In the UK, 20 million chickens a week.
Yeah, and they're not cared for. There are sick and dying chickens in amongst the living chickens. They can't stand on their own because they're bred to gain weight so quickly that they topple over. And then once they can't stand, they can't reach the feeding and watering tubes that go along.
So they die of malnourishment or they get crushed by other animals falling on them.
Yeah, then the workers they go through and they try and find those sick and dying and they just throw them on a pile.
It's
disgraceful.
Yes, in every possible way.
Yeah.
So I was kind of bummed to see the names of some of my favorite grocery stores on that list. But at the same time, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because any retailer that sells chicken is going to be getting their chickens, most likely, from a supplier that does large-scale chicken farming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And of course, that's to keep the product affordable, market ready, that people are able to actually access it.
Yeah. What was that movie we watched where it talked about the chicken farmers and how they are paid? It's like this lottery system.
Oh, that was so good.
Do you remember what documentary that was that talked about that? We'll look into that and get back to you on that, because it was a really good expose that followed these chicken farmers who were struggling. And I'm pretty sure that they were raising chickens for Tyson's, and the way that Tyson's pays the farmers, it's just obscene. The way it's like a lottery, and they're all hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. It's terrible. But while Sam looks that up, I will say in this article, Mercy for Animals says that these unnatural conditions are common to all factory farms, which we were just talking about.
I've got it. It was Food Inc.
Oh, Food Inc. Yeah, check that out. Food Inc.
And also the Super Size Me 2.
Yeah.
Morgan Spurlock's.
Oh, yes. He also talked about that.
Yes.
Right? Because he went and actually
he was trying to start a chicken farming business to support this new restaurant that he was starting. And he spent a lot of time. And actually, I think it's Super Size Me 2 that you're talking about now that I think about it.
Okay.
Talking to the farmers who work for the big chicken conglomerates, and how the pay system works, and it's really quite a tragic situation all the way around, not only for the chickens but for the farmers as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The only people making out well here are the CEOs and the shareholders,
the owners of these companies, the CEOs and shareholders of these large chicken companies. Yeah. So Mercy for Animals did go on to say in this article, pretty much just reiterated what we were just talking about, that these unnatural conditions are common to all factory farms where chickens are bred to grow unnaturally large over a short space of time. Moreover, as the chickens grow, the factory farm's water and feed lines are raised. This means that injured, ill, and runt birds are unable to reach the new heights, and some die of dehydration when they can't walk to the water. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on what happens like male chicks
we will
in
not
the
get
egg industry.
No. You don't get to go there now.
So there's another piece of terrible news. I recommend, if you are vegan, or even if you're thinking about going vegan, share this information with people in your circle that eat chicken.
Yeah.
We've been kind of brainwashed. I mean, there's no other word for it.
There really isn't.
To think that chicken is a healthier meat, which it's not.
It is not.
It's been proven it's higher in sodium. It's terrible for you.
Yeah.
And they hide all of this.
Yeah.
All of these facts about how chicken are raised, and it's just terrible.
Yet
share this information with people.
Right. Because despite all of those things, chicken is still globally the most heavily consumed animal on the planet.
Yeah, more chickens
are killed
than anything.
Yeah. And we're into the tens of billions every year.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Raised to die. And they're treated so poorly, It's awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, share this information with people. I can't say, I mean, when you read an article that has a headline like this, your first inclination is, oh God, we can't shop at Aldi's anymore. But this is every retailer. This is every food retailer that has chicken on their shelves.
Right.
This is what they're supporting. So you could, I guess, maybe start growing your own food. There's no other way around it.
Grow your own food, go to your local farmers markets.
Yeah.
We farm share, all of that kind of stuff. That's great. But
reasonably, though, I mean, there's no way that you're not going to be going into one of these stores to purchase products.
Of course not. Yeah.
Which is that's what's crazy about it. It's like even though we're vegan, it kind of gets you down sometimes because it's like we're still supporting this by shopping at these stores,
Yeah.
But it's the same like with our tax dollars. Our tax dollars are going to subsidize dairy farms and,
right.
Help. Help.
Right. And we unfortunately can't control that.
No.
All we can do is, vote with our dollar, meaning we do our research into the products that we do buy.
Yeah.
And we spend our money on, hopefully, ethical, sustainably sourced, ecologically responsible products as much as is possible.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
And that's all we can do.
Yep, do what you can do, people. Do what you can do.
But also, if you do get a chance, I would recommend also heading to Mercy for Animals website, which I believe is mercyforanimals.org, and
I think so.
Signing their Aldi petition. Okay, they have a petition going to a number of the higher ups at Aldi, asking them to reevaluate the process by which they stock chicken in their stores,
right,
and encouraging them to prioritize animal welfare,
right,
in their business dealings. And so I signed that petition this morning, and I definitely encourage you to do the same.
Yeah, I do too. And I would also maybe reach out to some activists and see if anybody is doing any sort of disruption activity. When I say disruption activity, I mean like holding signage up in front of any of these stores or anything. I'm not telling you to go out there and get arrested or anything, but
you're not.
But reach out to animal activists out there to see if there are any actions that you
occurring.
That we can become a part of. I'm going to do that.
Nice.
I don't want to get arrested or anything
I'd
for standing in front of all these
arrested
with a sign, but I definitely feel like we should try to do something. I don't know, just to bring more awareness to what's happening. All right, let's put that behind us. It's making me sad.
Are we moving on to slightly happier news?
Yeah, let's move on to slightly happier news. And I read this article today, and I'm not sure that we haven't already talked about this. And I don't. Okay, this is March 29th, 2022. And if you've heard us talk about this before, I'm sorry. But this is from The Beet, BEET. Sales of plant-based foods have grown 54% to 7.4 billion since 2018. So that's good news.
That's fantastic news.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, the plant-based food market continues to grow and has outpaced sales of other food categories in recent years. The Good Food Institute released a report that sales of plant-based foods hit 7.4 billion this year, growing 54% since 2018, while the total food market only increased sales by 2% over the same period. So
that's awesome.
People are buying plant-based.
People are buying plant-based. Gotta love it.
I don't care what the New York Post says. People are buying plant-based.
We're back to the New York Post, are we? Nice reference. Well done.
Yeah, if you'll remember our episode, or if you heard our previous episode where the New York Post said that
veganism is a fad.
It's a fad, and it's just filled with bougie, out-of-touch people.
That's right.
The continued growth of the plant-based food market put to rest any worry that this area is experiencing a slowdown post-pandemic, or that the demand for meat alternatives and dairy-free milk, cheese, and creamers was a fad. Take that, New York Post. In contrast, general food sales remained stagnant since 2018. The report details that the plant-based market has far surpassed the growth rates of the worldwide food market as a whole. Yes. Yeah. Self high five. Okay. That was awesome.
Did you just give yourself a crisp high five?
Yeah, self high five, man.
Nice.
I can't reach you to high five.
Fair point.
Yeah, what else do we want to say about that? I mean, that's great.
Yeah, this is just really encouraging. And I find it interesting that the increase, they're attributing a lot of the increase to younger consumers. Gen Z and millennials are leaning towards products that are environmentally and ethically beneficial.
Thank God.
Which I think is amazing. Thank you, Gen Zers and millennials. That's amazing.
Yep.
Us old Gen Xers are very grateful to that. Grateful to you for that. There we go. That's what I meant to say. So I think that's absolutely fantastic and hopefully bodes well for the future, not only of veganism in general, but the planet and continued demand for these products because the more demand there is, the more the market will respond to that.
Absolutely.
So you know what? Gen Zers, millennials, keep going the way you're going.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. This report also narrowed in on plant-based milk sales, which is cool, highlighting that dairy milk alternatives accounted for 16% of all retail milk sales. The plant-based milk dollar sales have grown to reach $2.6 billion, growing 33% in the past 3 years. Regular milk sales declined 2% in 2021.
Right.
Within the plant-based milk industry, oat milk has grown 44 times since 2018, accounting for 17% of plant-based milk sales.
That's incredible.
Yay, but I have to tell you, if you're buying oat milk, please try and find organic oat milk.
Yes, very important.
Oat is a very highly toxic crop. It's one of the...
Not because of the oats themselves, but they're sprayed heavily.
They're sprayed heavily with multiple pesticides and weed herbicides. So
you do want to be careful with oat milk.
Yeah, and you know what? Oat milk started to kill my stomach. And I was even buying Chobani, which I think does have organic oat.
The Chobani is organic.
It doesn't say organic oat milk on it, though, which is weird. But
yes, it does. The Chobani does.
Does it say on the package? Because I know the ingredients say organic
No,
oats.
it says it on the package.
Oh, it does? Mm-hmm. Okay. But even that was kind of bothering my stomach. And then somebody told me that oat can be an acidic food, which is weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't drink oat milk anymore. I stick with cashew milk or soy milk.
Cashew milk has become our go-to.
Yeah.
Milk. It has a really great neutral flavor. It's creamy enough to work in coffee, but not so creamy that it doesn't work in cereal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a specific flavor profile like coconut or hazelnut or walnut milk. They all have very distinct flavor profiles that don't always go with everything.
Yeah.
We generally stick to cashew milk, but oat is a way to go.
Oat is the way to go, but just try and find organic. And you know what? Oatly does make an organic product.
Yes, they do.
But it's hard to find.
At least around here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the first time I tried Oatly, I was like, this is it. This is my milk, man. This is it. This is my milk.
That is exactly what she said.
And every time we were near a Wegmans, because it was the only place I could get it, our grocery stores don't carry Oatly, I would grab 2 half gallons of Oatly.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I read this article about how oat is such a highly pesticide-filled, herbicide-filled crop. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I wonder if Oatly makes organic. And they do. But the stores don't carry it. And I find that odd.
Well, like I said, at least around here.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just cost prohibitive because it's...
Could be.
So much more... Maybe they think it's so much more expensive. Although that Chobani wasn't seriously more expensive than...
No, it wasn't.
Than regular oat milk. So there's that.
But still, we just wanted to toss out there that there is some really, really great news coming out of the plant-based food industry. And of course, these are the kinds of products that it's easy to track, the consumption that's going on around the world. I think generally with fruits and vegetables, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
But things like this, where you can see an increase in demand, it's really heartening. So I'm psyched.
Yeah, that's some good news. And then some other good news from Veg News. 4 major environmental benefits of a vegan diet. Going vegan doesn't release you from making other sustainable choices.
Of course not.
It's one of the best ways to become a more responsible citizen of this planet.
Now, to be fair, this article came out just 10 days ago on May 20th, 2022. But the information contained within is not new.
It's not.
No. This is stuff that every vegan worth their salt already knows.
Yeah, I mean...
And it's generally part of the reason that we've chosen to go vegan in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, they cite a 2018 Oxford University study, so it's not like it's new news or anything.
No.
But it's good news.
It is very good news.
You reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Yep.
Which I think we all know, or if you don't...
That's so important.
And let other people know.
That's right.
How much you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by going plant-based or vegan.
Right.
Number 2 was you reduces land use.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
Both for animals and for feed crops.
Yes.
Number 3 is you avoid pollution.
That's right. You don't have an animal agriculture industry. You don't have nearly as much poop.
Yeah. And in the article, they say the bluntly titled children's book, Everybody Poops, nails it. Animals poop and urinate. I don't think I ever said poop on the podcast before. Animals poop and urinate, and collectively, this waste adds up to a dizzying, horrific way. Approximately 2 billion tons of manure are produced by U.S. livestock every year. That's 2 billion pounds of poop every day. Large-scale feedlot operations where hundreds of animals are raised in relatively confined area discard this waste in manure lagoons. Yeah, have you ever seen the overhead shots of the drone footage of the manure lagoons, like in the pig farms and stuff down south? And the bad thing, and I don't know if this article says it, I don't think they do, that the majority of those farms are in lower income and people of color communities.
Yes.
And people are getting sick and dying and getting cancer because their water is tainted. Their air is tainted. Their ground is tainted. They can't grow gardens.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm sorry. This was supposed to be good news.
Well, no, the good news about this is that all of this is 100% documentable.
Yeah.
And that it can be easily shown. So if people are saying, oh, it's just a whole bunch of claptrap, it's propaganda, it's this, that, it's everything else.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's very easy to find the supporting research. And so I think the more that outlets like Veg News and, any other vegan news outlet, plant-based news, et cetera, are forwarding this information, the more likely others are to glom onto it and become perhaps a little more educated.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, today, nutritionfacts.org.
Well, all hail Dr. Greger.
Yeah, our friend Dr. Greger released a video today about dairy. And it's links mainly in women to types of cancer.
Hormonal cancers in particular.
Yeah, and I was sharing that information, and I shared it on Facebook. And the majority of my Facebook friends are not vegan.
Right.
And a lot of them were like blown away by the information I was giving them.
Yep.
I'm like, watch this video. People don't know this.
Yeah.
People don't talk about this. The dairy industry has a huge lobby to keep this stuff quiet.
Yeah.
We're not, and it talked about people who drink a lot of milk have a higher risk of hip fractures.
Yes.
Which is just the opposite of what you're always told.
Exactly. You're told that you need to drink calcium. Wow. You need to drink. No, you don't need to drink cows. You need to drink milk to get your calcium to keep your bones strong. When really it does the exact opposite.
Yeah. It actually reduces your calcium.
Yes.
Sucks the calcium out of your bones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to move on to the number 4 in this article, which is it saves water.
Yes, and not only in the sense that we were just talking about with, polluted groundwater and all of that good stuff, but you are actually conserving gallons and gallons and gallons of water. I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of gallons of water by not consuming animal products. Okay, now a lot of people will point to certain things like almonds.
Right.
Okay? Almonds are grown in areas where they really shouldn't be, to be completely honest. California should not have an almond industry.
Right.
It's not the right climate for it.
It's the right climate for them to grow,
but they don't have enough
water.
Exactly. So, but an 8-ounce serving of almond milk, takes 74 liters of water to make an 8-ounce serving of almond milk. And yes, that's crazy. Just that's amazing. But an 8-ounce serving of cow's milk requires 120 liters of water. Mm-hmm. A pound of beef. Okay, so the last time you had a hamburger, maybe it was a half-pound burger. You eating that half-pound burger takes at least 900 gallons to create.
Wow.
A half-pound burger, 900 gallons of water.
Wow.
A pound of tofu, though, only needs 302 gallons.
Okay.
A single chicken egg, 53 gallons of water.
Wow. That's impressive.
Just one. So multiply that by a dozen for the eggs that you just bought yesterday.
Right.
That kind of a thing. So I've heard a lot of people, and this is going back even, 10, 15 years, saying that the next great crisis is not going to be over oil. It's going to be over water.
It's already happening.
And it's already happening. So if you do consider yourself, vegan or not, if you do consider yourself to be an environmentalist, if you are concerned with the fate of our planet and what we leave to our descendants, every time I read this stuff, I just think of my niece.
Sure.
Who's going to have a lot longer time frame on this earth than I am.
Yeah.
Or at least I certainly hope that's the case.
Right.
What is all of this consumption going to do to her? So if you do consider yourself an environmentalist, really rethink your purchasing of animal products.
Yeah.
Because they do hurt the environment in so many ways. If we can't get to you with the cruelty argument,
right?
Yeah. And there are plenty of people who say, no, I understand what you're saying, but these animals are specifically raised for, they were meant for,
right.
People love to pull out the dominion clauses in the Bible,
right?
Which, frankly, I think are incredibly misinterpreted, but that's just me. But these things, purchasing animal products, using these things regularly, is detrimental in so many ways, so many other ways. It's not just about the animals. It's not just about the workers who are usually working in terrible conditions, who are usually migrant or low income, or because who else is going to do those jobs? They're terrible, terrible jobs.
They're backbreaking.
And not only backbreaking, but who on earth wakes up in the morning
and wants to
says,
do that.
I want to go kill animals for a living.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really does that.
No, nobody wants to do that for a living.
No.
Well, maybe some crazy people, but...
Well, but that aside, So if we can't get to you when it comes to the animals, and we can't get to you when it comes to the workers, then you know what? Let's talk about the planet. Let's talk about the planet.
Yeah.
Because animal agriculture is the number one source of greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, land use, water contamination, dead spots in the ocean, you name it.
Yeah, the list goes on
and on and on.
Yeah, and these industries do not want to take responsibility for it.
No.
And you will see like campaigns, because everybody knows there's, it's a water issue and people should be conserving water. And you'll see these campaigns that tell you, take a 5-minute shower instead of, how about we just start eliminating some of the factory farming?
Right.
And
because
I'm not saying, go leave, like this article even said, we're not saying go leave your faucet running or whatever.
Right.
But the industries that are responsible for the majority of the problem with the water on this planet need to start taking responsibility.
Yes, and it's not just about low flow toilets and taking a 5-minute shower, though those are great things and definitely things that we should all be considering. I mean, I do take very, very short showers, and it's not necessarily because I'm environmentally aware. It's because I, unlike Christine, do not have long hair that takes a while to, shampoo and then rinse. I have very short hair, and so it takes me almost no time at all to deal with that. So my showers tend to be very, very short, and that's great. But that's not going to solve the water crisis.
No.
So
there was some good news.
Yay!
Yes, if you're vegan or you're plant-based or you're trying, you're doing something. You're making...
That's right.
If you could just make an effort.
Yep.
These
actions, they are immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have immediate impact. And I know that it may feel sometimes like you're not accomplishing anything.
Right.
Because there is still so much cruelty and waste and environmental damage happening in the world every single day.
Yeah.
But it's the whole idea of one vegan at a time.
That's right. One vegan at a time.
The contributions of every single person.
Yeah. And at least
make a difference.
At least you could say you're not contributing to the problem.
Right.
Or you're
minimizing your contribution to the problem, because we do all contribute to the problem whether we want to or not. It's inevitable.
By merely existing. I mean,
correct.
We have our air conditioning going right now, and that is consuming electricity.
And we drive a car, and I'm taking a plane to Portland.
Yeah.
And, so certainly we are not perfect, but
no.
Minimizing your consumption of animal products in every way, shape, and form will contribute greatly.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest
to
things,
reducing your footprint.
One of the biggest things you can do to reduce your footprint, and it's just the most compassionate way to live, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. All right, so that's the news. We're going to wrap that up, and we're going to wrap this up because we went super long last week, and we don't want to do that again, and we are already at 55 minutes.
Hey.
Yeah, so I'm just going to move into our housekeeping. Ooh, I want to tell everybody, Taste of Vegan in Buffalo is this Wednesday.
So excited.
June 1st at 6 o'clock at Riverworks in Buffalo, New York.
We will be there.
We will be there. Come and say hi, get a free sticker, sign our email list, and hang out with us.
Absolutely.
Hang out and have some good food. There are some really great vendors going to be there with tastings. It's so great. You can go to Western New York Veg Fest website, buy a ticket, and all the food is free.
Yes, you get it. It's actually really a lot of fun. You get a punch card.
Yep.
And you get a spork.
Yeah, they usually give you a spork and a punch card,
and
you go around and you
go around to every table and try everything they're offering, and it's a rocking good time.
It's going to be so good. I'm looking
come with
forward
an
to
empty stomach.
Yeah, come with an empty stomach or some takeaway containers.
Because even though everything's bite-sized, there are a lot of vendors.
It's a lot.
You're going to want to try
It's a lot
everything.
of bites. It's a lot of bites. Yep. So like I said, we'll have our email sign up there and we'll be handing out stickers. So look for our table and come say hi. Western New York Veg Fest, which Taste of Vegan is actually a fundraiser for, is being held August 7th in Buffalo, also at Buffalo Riverworks. And if you've never been to Buffalo Riverworks, if you're in the area, it's a really cool venue.
It's great. Yeah. I love it.
Let's see. Oh, a calls to action. We still have our fundraiser for Mockingbird Farms Animal Sanctuary.
Always.
On our Buy Me a Coffee site. That's buymeacoffee.com/cucumbers. Send us topics for our top 5 challenge, and I'm going to be adding some other games, and you can send me ideas for. I want to do this and that games. And I
don't even know exactly where she's going with that one, so I'm intrigued.
You know what this and that is? Where I give you like I'll give you like 2 choices. Like, I'll just be like rudimentary. Ketchup or mustard.
Mustard.
Right. So it's something like that.
It's fun.
And it's quick fire.
Okay.
So there's no homework, which is good.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I want to do vegan trivia.
Vegan trivia is good.
Quizzes. And
that, of course, will be inspired by the trivia night we went to that was hosted by the Food Empowerment Project.
Oh, yeah. That was so fun.
That was so much fun.
Yeah. That was really fun. And I hope they do that again. I have to reach out to them and ask them when they're going to do it again, because that was really fun. We did it over Zoom.
Yeah, it was great.
Send your cookbook recommendations to us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com. We will have affiliate links to this week's cookbook, and I'll probably put a couple of links to some kitchen products that I used while making this.
There you
go. This recipe, and just products that we love to use in the kitchen. Let's see. Did I tell you to get tickets to Taste of Vegan? Yes.
You did.
Get Taste of Vegan, and I think that's it. Do you have anything to add for calls to action or any kind of housekeeping?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good.
You never do.
Well, because you take care of it all.
I'm sorry.
You say, here, we're going to do the housekeeping, and you do all the housekeeping. But I mean, that makes sense. You're retired. You're the housefrau. I'm used to you taking care of the housekeeping now.
The housefrau.
I am completely capable of keeping my big mouth shut.
Yeah. I guess I'm not.
Well,
yeah.
Depends on the day.
Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. I hope you got some useful information out of this week's news episode. Definitely check out that cookbook. I'll give you the name of the cookbook again before we leave. It's The Mediterranean Vegan Kitchen by Donna Klein. So check that book out. Yeah. And like I said, I'll have links for it. All right. We'll see everybody. Well, I won't see it. Well, I'm hoping to see a lot of people Wednesday.
I really hope we get to see some of you at Taste of Vegan on Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely
really looking
come up
to
and
it.
say hi.
Yeah.
And you'll be hearing us again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. If you'd like to support the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/cucumbers and buy us a cup of coffee. Thanks so much for listening and for supporting us in what we're doing. We're really having a good time with it.